So let's continue with the next question in this paper. There's a 29th question, which is a very straightforward question here. If you look at this question, you can see that. So this is a table given, and you have, based on the data given above, answer the following questions. Identify the columns which can be considered as candidate keys. So candidate keys are all those keys which can be used as primary keys. So I can see two things here. One should be the admission number. We'll use common sense also here. These two have to be the admission number and roll number. So both of them, yes, they could be your candidate keys. There is also one more thing here. The name also, as per this table, you have Karan, Namam, Isha. There is no repetition in the name also as per the given table. So ideally, yes, even I can say name is a candidate key here. They usually accept it, but yes, in the answer key, they have given only these two. So we will stick on to these two. Now, if two more columns are added, so I'm saying already they're asking degree and cardinality. So this degree is number of columns. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And cardinality, as of now, should not count the header. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm saying two more columns are added and 3 rows are deleted. What will be the new degree and cardinality? So degree is becoming 8 and cardinality is becoming 4. Right? Now write a statement to increase. So a common mistake that we do here is when I say increase, when I say change, alter, you have to be very careful with what we are doing here. The value is changing. So I have to use my update statement. If at all they're asking to change the size of a column or the type of a column, I'll go for alter. So I'll just say update result. The table name is given in the question. Update result set. They're asking me to increase SIM2 marks. So very important max here. SIM2 is equal to SIM2 plus 0.03 into SIM2. Existing marks, and I have to add for 3%. Where? Not for everyone. Where marks is between 70 to 100. So you can do this statement, one simple statement. So write the numbers correctly for the second one, and this is for the third one. Right? This is an easy question. I don't think there is going to be any difficulty in this question. We are going to the next question. For question number 30, it's a stack program. We have done a lot of stack programs and we know the general template of a stack program. In a stack program, you're always going to have a push function and a pop function. Here also, they have asked the same thing. So let's read the question once. There'll be some clue which we might miss here. So they're saying there is a dictionary. So usually they have been giving list with a choice of a dictionary. But in this paper, they have given only dictionary. So it becomes like, yes, we have to now know both the models to do these questions. So they have given you, it has a dictionaries in the form of an ID followed by a tuple. Remember, it's a tuple here. So I'm going to write a user-defined function to perform the specified operations on a stack named stu_stack. If you had seen the previous video of data structures, I would have said stack to use a name called as stack. Here, it is a different name. That's it. So now let's start with my function. I have my def push_elements. And it has a bracket. So in bracket, I have a stu_stack, comma stu_dictionary. So ideally what I'm going to do for each key, right? For each key in stu_dictionary. So I have to score, if they have scored more than or equal to 80 marks in TS3. So TS3 in this tuple is the 0, 1, 2, second value. For each key here, if stu_dict of key of 2 is greater than or equal to 80, then I'm going to push it into the stack. So first I have to declare my stu underscore stack. It has to be at the same level. It has to be here. Is equal to an empty stack. So here I will just say stu underscore stack dot append. So the output they are saying is only the ID, right? 5, 12, 14 and all, or the IDs alone. So I'll append only the key here. I don't want the value. So whichever store, that's all the program itself is done. You can just imagine you're getting 1.5 marks for these 3 lines only. There is no change whatsoever in the logic. Like they will have either a book stack or they will have any stack. The idea is this, they would have given you a condition and you have to implement the condition here and append it to whatever name they have given. So this is your first part of your program. So now let's come to the second part. Let's say def pop underscore elements. You don't even need to pass the argument because it's a globally declared list only. But anyway, they have given this syntax, so we'll follow the same thing. Put a colon here. So this is a straightforward question. You have to use the same logic, no change here. I have told you already. So just say while len of stu stack, right? Len of stu underscore stack is not equal to 0. So this is one condition I can use. I'm going to say print stu underscore stack dot pop. So this dot pop will make sure that all the values are being popped from the bottom. Now I'll have a while else. I have to just print stack empty. They would have given you that sentence. You have to just exactly print that sentence. Because there is nothing else here, they will not tolerate you to print something else because they don't want you to by heart the program. So if they have given you overflow and underflow, something like that, and you have written something else as stack empty, they will not give you marks. They will know that you've just by hearted the program, you don't understand the program. So don't make that mistake. Look at, so the question, it's big, the answer is smaller than the question. That's the beauty of these programs. Once you know the logic of it, there is no need to even strike and write. Be very confident while writing these programs. You can just write and see once or twice these programs. It will be very, very easy for you. So this is the, so you can, they're not call both the functions. So they've asked you to call the function. So while calling the functions, you have to be careful because now here you have to write. So you have to call these functions. So for calling this push element, you need the student dictionary. So I have to write this stu underscore dict is equal to whatever. I did not give exactly the same values, but I can give these values, comma, whatever. And then I can just say push underscore element of stu underscore dict, comma, stu underscore stack. And then I have to call pop underscore element of stu underscore stack alone. So this will complete the program and maybe they will have a mark, half mark weightage for calling the program correctly. Okay. So now this is your 30th program. Let's move on to the 31st program. So it's very interesting in this paper that they have not given you a case study here. Usually this is a section D is for case studies where you have 2 4-mark questions. Surprisingly, now both the programs here or programs in this additional practice paper. And I also think this would be a better way of asking even in your board exam. We might stick on to the sample paper pattern also. We can't say that. So the first one is a CSV program and the other one is a binary file program. So we will do both of them. So for the next question, I can see that I have I'm asked to create a function called max salary. I have a record.csv is an already existing file. So let me create that here. Let me go back to my drive. There's a record.csv. So we have in the CSV file series, if you look at it, you can see that there are a lot of examples like I would have done. So let me put the same, there could be any heading here. I will use the same one, E underscore code. There is a E underscore name. And there are 2 other fields, right? So there is going to be a Scale and salary. Okay, anyway, so let me put the scale here and the salary here. So I've given some names. I've not used the same names here. Let me put the salary scale as S1, S2, something. So maximum salary, I have two values. Let me give him a 50,000. Then I'll have a 35,000. So ideally, the maximum salary guy here is the one with BB, and I have to get that as my output. So I'm just saving this. Now coming back to the program, assume all the employees have distinct salary is a note given here. Otherwise, there could be two employees. So that's what they are meaning here. So whichever is the maximum, it has to display that row for us. That's the thing. No need to give the same also. We just have to write the code for this program. So let's directly do it with idly itself so that it will be easy for us to understand each line of the code. The CSV files are generally standard programs. Usually we have been getting only read and search. So this is the first time they have asked a little extra in this. So it is important that we give a little more importance to CSV files also. So let's do this. So what are they asking us to do? They are asking us to, first we have to read from a CSV file, right? Let's start there. So I'll have an import CSV, help us import that. And then I have to start my function. My function name is salary. So def max underscore salary. It's a max salary only, there's no underscore there. Okay, so yes, I have a max salary function. So now first is I have to open the file. So f is equal to open. Let me give my fully qualified name here. In exam, you need not write this because here I'm trying to show you the output also. So I have a record.csv. I'm opening this file for I'm opening this file in reading mode. So I'm going to just give a R here. When I'm reading, I don't have to actually take care of any new line on delimiter. It will automatically be taken care of. But now once I have opened the file, I know that the file has a first row as a header because that is what is given here. So I have to take care of that. So reader, I can just say R is equal to CSV dot reader of F. So I've created a reader which is going to now read this function. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a variable, let's say header. Header is equal to true. Now, this is for what I have, when I'm reading, I have to ignore the first line. That's what I'm trying to do because if I try to manipulate the first line, it will not give me the required output, right? So that's the reason I'm keeping my header as true. And initially, I'm assuming the maximum salary is 0. So this is usually how we do a maximum minimum program. So I'm assuming the maximum is 0, then come back to the program. For each row in R, if header is equal to true, then I'm just going to set it to false. I'm not going to do anything else, but make it false and move on to my else. So first time it's going to come here. It is going to ignore my header for me and just convert that header to false so that next time when it comes then for the next row, the header is going to read false. So it's going to come to the else part. So in else part, what am I going to do? I have to check for if the salary that is here, that is if row of, the row will have 0, 1, 2, 3. There are going to be 4 columns, but it starts with 0. And I am bothered only about the last column. So if row of 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Row of 3 is greater than the maximum value. I'm going to reassign the max is equal to row of 3. So now hereafter, the maximum will be row of 3. And I can just say, I'm storing the row here. I'm storing the row in a record. So once this is done, every time this happens, every time we encounter a maximum value, this is going to happen for us. So once this is done, I'm finished with all the values. I'll come back. And as soon as the for loop is done, I'm going to print. However, have they asked the output here? They have not given any format. So it's our choice how we want to do this. So max salary is equal to REC. Row with highest salary, however you want to do this. And do a F dot. I think this should work for 4 marks. Additional practice question paper with an indentation error here. I did not close it properly. I have used a different bracket, different quotation, but so that's why it's giving me an error. So there is a small indentation here. Hopefully that's. And I have to call this function. See, I did not call this function at all. So I have to call my max salary function. So it's saying this is not there. Record.csv is not there. Let's check that. Do I have a record.csv? Let me close that function. Maybe that was open at that time, so it's not able to. So now I corrected the file name. There is one more small thing I have to correct here. Whatever is being returned from a CSV file is going to be a string. So if I'm going to check it here, it's going to throw me an error. So I have to convert it to an integer before I proceed. So let's try now. Let me. Int of row of 3 is greater than max. Let's try that. So you can see that I had not given an int here, so it threw an error again. So now it is giving me the correct value. I think in this, the second row has the highest salary, so it's giving me the required output. Right? So this is your program for CSV file. I will go back to our next question, wherein it's a binary file. So binary file also, it's very, very easy to write this program. Again, it's for 4 marks, and for 4 marks, I think, see, in CSV file, there is nothing that is going to be changed. In this case, it was a maximum logic. But usually they ask you a search or a count, which I think they will stick on to that. I don't think they're going to ask you some question like this. But nevertheless, we have to be prepared with it. Now consider a binary file inventory.dat that stores this information. To read the contents of inventory. I'm just going to write this program for you because it's difficult to create a binary file now. So let's write this program, and I'm sure you can go back to the videos to see all different types of binary file programs, right? So we can do directly with what is expected for this 4 marks. So you start with the function name. They have given a expensive product. So the function name is, you first have to do an import pickle. This has to be the first line in the program. So I'll say def expensive products. Expensive products, and okay. Now it's going to be a reading. So when I'm going to read from a binary file, I'm going to load values, and that is the program which will use your try, catch, and exceptions, right? So that is an important logic that you have to remember for all the reading programs. So you're going to read the contents of inventory.dat. So let's first open the file. So F is equal to open inventory.dat. Stick on to the spelling also, capital, the small letters. And I'm going to open that in a read binary mode. Very, very important. So I'm going to open this in my read binary mode. Once I am done, immediately I can do my try. So I can directly do try while true. So what am I going to do? I'm going to just say x is equal to pickle.load of here. So it's going to get my first record from the binary file. So once I get the record, it is going to have this in this format. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 values. It's a tuple. There are 4 values, and I'm going to, but the idea here is I have to properly display the product ID is 1, product ID is 3. And then I have to display total expensive products also. So first is product ID has to be displayed in this format, in a specific format. I need the ID alone. I need the first value alone. So let's also put a count equal to 0 here. So if it is price is greater than 1000, so I'm going to check the 0, 1, 2, 3. So if x of 3 is greater than 1000, higher than, there is no equal to, then you're going to print so this will be printed for us for the entire duration of this. So once it is done, after I am done with this, I can have a except. So there is no end of file checking in Python. So I have an EOF error, except EOF error. And here I can do a lot of things. It is definitely going to come here. So here itself, I can print the last total expensive products thing, or I can just say break. So it is going to break away for me from my loop. Now I can come out and I can print total expensive products, comma, count. So for that, once it comes inside, I have to also do a count is equal to count plus equal to 1. So once I do this, it is going to complete everything and print expected result. So I can interchange this let the while true go up and try come inside, so get the same result for the source. So this is a very important question, binary file question for us. So we have to be thorough in this question, right? So the next question, we are coming to the last section. You have 3 questions here. The first question is going to be so very easy. So you should be following the networks notes. I think that one part of networks, and I'll also be doing more videos on networks also. So at that time, if you can just go through that, it's more than enough, because the network syllabus alone has been the same from, I think, around 13 years ago when first started teaching. It was the same syllabus, and from then on, it has been changing. So we don't know exactly what to teach. It's a general knowledge topic. They used to ask from outside, and it is kind of, that is why in all your books, all teachers also ask you to refer to so many things to study the networks. But I think pretty much for the past few years, the question paper has been very, very standard. You can predict what questions they are going to ask. So like here also, in all the sample papers and board exam papers, it is given here. The first question, is always going to be server location. So server location is definitely going to be that which most number of computers. So you have to say admin. And you also give the reason, justify your answer, whether they ask it or not. You have to just, it is the admin building. And you can give the reason as it has maximum number of computers. It's a standard pre-made answer that you can use here. Second, draw the cable layout. See, cable layout, you can always draw 2 cable layouts. Remember, it's always perfect to draw 2 cable layouts. So I can have an admin, food, media, decorations. I can do a star topology. But remember to write the length here. And you can just say this is a star topology and it is efficient. You can just connect them as a bus. Right? You can just do this also. You can also say this is a bus topology, and you can say cable length. I think it will come around, if you count it properly, only a 5 meters difference was there in this. So you can just do any of these. You can do both of these actually. So that's the second question. Which hardware device will you suggest to connect all the computers within each building? You would have seen this. When I have a single computer, when I was the only person working, then I used to directly plug in an Ethernet cable into my system from the modem. So from the telephone line, I used to connect it to my system, my laptop or my desktop. So that was the case maybe around 15, 20 years ago. That is how we were working. So there is one connection for one computer, not for the entire house. But slowly, in an entire house, you can have multiple computers and multiple points to take the wire and put it inside was also there. And now it has become wireless, which means for a single internet connection, you can connect even 10 devices at house, right, without compromising on the speed. So what do you need in a computer lab? You would have seen, if you have noticed, for when there are more than one computer, you definitely need a hub or a switch. So the easiest answer for this is hub or switch. To connect your computer to the internet service provider, then you need a modem for modulation and demodulation. But with connecting within each building, connect all, that is a keyword that you have to notice here. Online face-to-face communication, the options itself is very clear. You have a face-to-face, you want to see my face here. So yes, it is going to be C. What type of network will be set up in the following cases? The Mumbai campus gets connected with the headquarters in Delhi. Delhi to Mumbai, it is going to be definitely outside the city. So I have to say you are going to have a wide area network. Computers connected in the Mumbai campus is definitely going to be a LAN. That is why it is called as a LAN design. So these are your two answers. Straight, easy 5 marks. I think this is the easiest 5 marks in the entire paper to do. Next is again, you have a same binary file question and you can look at both the questions. The first question is a theory question here. Mention any two differences between seek and tell. It's a theory question. And then mention any different binary and CSV files. So these are theory questions which you have already discussed. You can always refer the answer key. Now let's come to the program alone here. So consider a flight. When I'm doing my practical series, I'll be doing it soon. I will be doing the practical of all these questions. As of now, I'm just giving you the theory how to solve it because it's easier to just, it is much more time, less time consuming to do it directly itself. Very, very easy questions. The first one, they are given a straightforward question where it is a list. I would always want to go there. It is the easiest to do. Do not overcomplicate things because seek and tell, it's a 2 mark question. So you can easily write so many points for seek and tell. Binary file, CSV files also relatively easy question. But when you come to the second thing, it is a dictionary there. If you make a small mistake, if you make some error there, you might lose marks unnecessarily. So it's better to choose the easy one, which is a flight. Copy is again a standard program. Transferring files from between two files is a program which we have already done. So now write a function copyrec in Python that copies all those records from flight.dat into record file.dat. So same as writing. So let me open my copyrec, right? So import pickle will be my first line. Then I have a def copy underscore rec. Okay. And then first line is I have a file1 is equal to open whatever is the file name. My source is flight.dat. And yes, I'm going to open it in read binary mode. And let me put F2 open. I have a record dot, it's a new file. So I have to open it in either an append binary or a write binary mode. Done. Now, what am I going to do? After I open the files, I'm going to start reading from the first file. So as usual, when I say reading, the first thing that comes to my mind is I'll have a while true. I'll put a try. Inside try, I will say x is equal to pickle.load. Standard program. You don't even have to think at all. You can just write like that. So x is equal to pickle.load of if you have loaded all the details. So first record is now here. So what is the first record? It is going to have a flight number, flight name. So what are you going to check? Source. So where is the source? 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Source is Delhi and destination is Mumbai. So if x of 0, 1, 2, 3. X of 3 is equal to Delhi. And x of 4 is equal to Mumbai. This is my condition. If this is the case, then I'm going to copy. I'm going to do what? Copy this. I'm going to say pickle.dump. You have a syntax pickle.dump data, which is in this case x, comma, f2. You're going to dump your record x whatever you loaded just now, you're going to put the entire record into the file record.dat. So this is only copy. It is not transfer. Remember that. So that this is done. We are done with the program for our 3-mark program is done completely. There is no surprise at all here. So after that, as usual, we will just do our except EOF error and break. You don't have to do anything here. That's it. So you come out, you do a f.close. We are done with this program, right? Go to the next program. The same thing. You have book.dat. It contains a dictionary. And now this is actually a little easier program, I think. You just have to find book of price. It's a search function. So we already done searching in a binary file. All those records, book price more than or equal to the price value passed as a parameter. Okay, so you're going to have to pass it as a parameter. So you're going to get it from the user and then pass it there. So it can work in any way. So we can just write a program to do the price and then call the function also from the bottom of your program, right? So let's start with the import pickle again. Import pickle. And let's say I have a def find book of price. So now I have to again start reading. It's the same as the previous. Let me open my file. So f is equal to open book.dat in a read binary mode. And let me have my while true. I'll have my try. I will say x is equal to dot load of f. Now I'm going to check. So how do I check? Now it's a dictionary. Remember, I have to use a dictionary logic for this. So I have to say for key in x. If x of key of, I'm going to check the 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 2 is greater than or equal to price, right? So I have to put a colon also here. So remember the very, very important step, that is if x of key, which is a dictionary, I have a key and I have the value there. If it is greater than or equal to price, then I'm going to just say print this. What are they asking me to print? It is going to all those records. So I can just say print x. It will print because they have not given any specific format for me. So I'm just going to say print x. I'll get out of this program. I will just put an except EOF error. You can break from the loop, get out and do a f.close. And even after doing an f.close, I have to call this function as they said. So at this level, at a def level, I'm going to just say find book of 500. That is what is given in the answer key for you. But if you don't want to do it, you can always ask the user to enter a price and you can always do that. So it's not going to be, you have to call it, but the call contains half mark. So you have to call the function, but how you call it is completely up to you. The very, very straightforward question. I think we are to the last question finally. This question paper. Yeah, there are 2 choices here. Interfacing, I'm sure you would have already gone through the interfacing video before you do this. If not, please go through that first. So interfacing is another very interesting concept. This time it has just gone, if you look at it from how it has evolved over the 2 years, first it was a simple interfacing only. They used to ask what is row count, what is fetch all, fetch one. But now slowly they have evolved and they have come to a level where they are asking you to use format itself. So that is the level that they have evolved, and we can definitely expect a good question from this topic here. So they are asking you to define something because they want to also have knowledge questions in the paper. So it's a straightforward, define the term constraint with respect to, remember in computer science, they will not fail anybody. So I have not seen anyone getting below 50 in computer science at all. So it's such an easy subject for you. You just have to stick on to your basics without getting too much of panic and just writing rubbish there. So just have to slowly write correct answers for what you know and try to attempt all the questions without scribbling, without writing unnecessary answers. If you don't do that, I think you can easily score your 50 on 70 in computer science. And yes, if you read thoroughly, it's a very easy subject to get your center. So because of that, there are some standard theory questions, which I'll also be doing slowly for you. You can also go through that. You have certain questions like in RDBMS, what is primary key, what is foreign key, what is alternate key. So what is a constraint, what is a domain, and all these terms. So they are very important for you. If you can just know that 1 mark, you can easily get, and they're giving a suitable example. So what is a constraint? Constraint is a set of rules applied on any column on a table. Like when I say primary key, it can have only unique values. Duplicate values are not allowed there. So this you can explain. Any other constraint also you can explain here. So now this is the easy question. They've given you all the details for the connector program. So I'm not sure because in sample paper it was a program. Here it is a fill in the blank. So whatever it is, you should know what to do. You know the 6 steps in doing an interfacing here. So statement 1, password is equal to what? They have given the password as tiger. So statement 1 is going to be, so as given in the for A, password is equal to tiger. This is the fill in the blank there. My cursor is equal to. So whenever I say my cursor or cursor, my cursor is equal to connection dot cursor. Here it is con1. So con1 is my connection name dot cursor is always the same. Cursor is a function name. Done. Query is equal to. So what is the query? They're asking you to write a query, and what is the query supposed to do? It is going to remove the record from the table. So you're going to say query is equal to delete from store. Oh, database is store, right? So it's item. Table name is item. Delete from item where the item name is given as iname. Iname is equal to, I can just put the, remember to put the double quotes here because it's a string. And then dot format. They have given it as this in the answer key, but you can always also say item is equal to percentage s comma also. But it is better to learn the format itself because they are using format function in your book also, in your answer keys also. So it's better to use it. So delete query is done. You have to use a format to do this. And finally, you have decon1 dos commit because you have to do statements they were given you. I'll come down and show you how easy it is. It's con1 dot commit. Underline all the blanks that you have done. So when you come here, the clue is there. It is you really don't even have to by heart the program. Complete statement 1 to establish the connection with the database. So you have to do a password equal to just fill in the blank. Create the cursor object. They have given you what you have to do. Delete based on item name entered by the user and save the changes in the table. So saving, permanent saving, you use commit function. Right? So this is a straightforward thing. Coming to the next one, difference between alternate key and candidate key, it is given in the question. So alternate key is candidate key set of all the keys. In that you choose one as the primary key. The remaining, any of them could be called as an alternate key. So that is the definition there. And here again, it is the same type of a question with the same kind of a fill in the blanks. Little different, we'll do this also. So here they are asking us to do, first one is, the first line itself is empty. Remember, it's import MySQL dot connector. We usually stop it here, right? But then here you look at it as a short form use here. They are importing this as MySQL. That's why they are using the object here. So if you don't do this, you will lose that mark. So con1 is equal to, it is not MySQL dot connector dot connect. It is MySQL dot connect, which means they are importing this as MySQL. That my cursor is equal to same thing here. con1 dot cursor. Query is equal to, they've given the query for you here. Complete the query given. So they are going to give you what you have to put here, right? So to complete the query to display details of all such items from the table items whose price is more than 5,000. So I just have to fill 5,000 there. There's nothing else to do in that format. Inside the format, I have to rewrite the line, please, and then do this because it's always better to write the line fully. My cursor dot data is equal to my cursor dot. They're saying extract all the records. Remember, so it's fetch all. My cursor dot fetch all. So these are your, it's like they have 4 lines, so it's 4 marks. So very, very important because 4 marks is just, it's very, very easy to score these 4 marks. You have to be careful in writing the entire line and then underline your answer alone. Wherever there is a blank there, underline that, but write the full thing because if you miss the dot, if you miss the quotation, then you're going to definitely lose marks, right? So remember the format function. There is already a video on that and I'll be making more, but also read it properly for your practical exams also. You have to make sure that if it is an empty bracket for an integer, it is a bracket with a double quotes or a single quotes for, usually it's double quotes for string. So if you're going to expect a string, use double quotes. If it's going to an integer, just use the empty bracket there and put a dot format and write whatever you want next to it. And format can have multiple values. So if I say select start from price greater than this and this, where how many ever brackets I put in the select statement or the query, I can use that many commas and give A, B, C, whatever I want in the format also, right? So this completes your additional practice paper, right? So I will see you all soon. As I told before, I will meet you with more videos on practical. I will try to make them. And I would also like to know if there are any additional specific concepts that you want me to start making videos on so that we can first finish off the practicals very nicely. Wish you all the best for your exams. Do well. And there are Sahodaya exams coming up for Chennai region, and I'm not sure about the other regions. You might have your pre-boards going up. So I would just suggest you to, I have given the link of the playlist of all the videos below here. So you can always go through that and wish you all the best.